G'day, you mob. How are we all going? G'day, you mob. How are we? Oh, wow. How do you do that upside down stuff? My God. I did take a little while to come in. Sorry about that. I'm late to my own party. Goodness me. Dan Slee, how are you? Gall, I don't think she's here anymore. She came and went. Pardon me. There we go. First cab off the rank. Jimbo, how are you? Friff. Ty Hunsaker. Joe Coffee. Joe, I am on daylight savings time. Unfortunately, stupid invention. Denny Ledge. How are you, Denny? Missed you. Anna, Candy, GRD. How are you people this day? Rob Bull, my good buddy. Oh, that one had bones in it. Pamela and Bob. Did you guys come in the same car? Scott Gordon, welcome aboard, new friend. Great to see new names. We loves it. We loves the new names. Jesse, how are you? Aloha, my friend. Mahalo for popping in. Did I say that right? I'm not good with accents. I've only got one. Zen Ginger, how are you? Good to see you again. That upside down writing of Jimbo's gets my goat, but I love it. Stephanie Berry, how are you? Ken Imei? I don't mean to poke fun at names. It's just my accent, I swear. Chewy, how are you going? Somehow I just scrolled down past 1 million comments. A million, I did. I've got to go back again. Jess Shrimp Granny, how are you? Zach Fisher, good to see you again. Friday Fish Facts, always good to see Ron DeSantos in the house. Whoops. This one's for you, Ron, and everyone else. The secret is I was just getting thirsty. Jeremy Morrill, how are you? 808. Don't know if I said hello to you yet. Tata Salad. How are you, my new friend? I hope I said that right. Or is it just pure and simple tater salad? That's how I'd say it in Australia. Night girl. You made it. Have I done it? Somehow my chat seems to be super mega scrolling past heaps of stuff. So I do apologize if I miss anyone's name. I'm trying my darndest. But it is doing very interesting things. Fish Tank Barn, Mike. Good show, mate. I think I was there for most of it. I did have to do a few walkarounds and, push-ups and pull-ups to warm up for the show, some vocal exercises, all that kind of stuff. You gots to warm up. Warm up. It's done it again. It just did it again. Scrolls. I don't think StreamYard likes me taking a few minutes to say hi to everyone, because it just goes zoom straight to the bottom. It probably does solve the problems I normally have of never being able to get to the bottom. Do we have? Well, we've got a thirsty rabbit in the house as well. How are you today, thirsty? And I think I've actually made it to the bottom without missing anyone. If I missed anyone, please type the number 11 into the chat now. Seems like. Oh, I suppose I have to wait 10 seconds, don't I? We'll wait. While we wait, those that are offended by me smoking a cigarette, you're probably in the wrong stream. Oh, Jan's life journey. I missed Jan. Jesse, I know I said hello to you because I said aloha and mahalo. Safonda Cox. No, it's a beautiful, beautiful first name, Safonda. And your last name, I take it, is Scottish or something, yet the name Safonda has its origins in Nigeria. So what an interesting combination of parents you must have. Derek, how you going, mate? Good to see you. Fish Freak, my brother. How are you going, man? Cody, son, I missed you. I did. Some of these people, I think, are just playing with me. Sandra Bennett, how are you this day? Oh, what do we got going on here? My level of professionalism, as usual, is exquisite. So I'll just scroll through a bit of this. Bit of a, just got to type a word. Chuck an emoji on the end. Whoops. If you push the right button. Back to you, mob. The poop, I probably still miss people, didn't I? I'm too slow for the 11s. Damn. Oh, I'm only getting the chat in StreamYard, Jess, but you know, seasoned pro like you, I shall take your advice and have a look, but mine seems to always default to live chat. Seasoned pro like you, I should take your advice. Twice, apparently. But mine seems to always default to live chat. I'll just mute that guy. His voice has a distinctive, odd ring to it. Lol. Potentially, Jess, you were absolutely correct. Mine was on Top Chat for once, and potentially that means that not all of my messages are being swung through to the StreamYard chat. I only got the one little tickle out of Safonda. That was a shame, because with a lovely name like that, we could have done great things together. All right, what have I done? Righto. Quick fish update, GRB's requesting. Oh, God, it just did it again, didn't it? Anyway, you probably all saw it. I've got a fridge door open update. On a day like today, we don't need the refrigerator open. Oh, you got to give the trolls a little moment. You got to have a little bit of fun first. If I struggle, if I can't, if I struggle to have my way with them, then by all means. But well, this is interesting. I've got a incoming video chat from Mad Fish Diva. Is it just to me though? I could do that on a live stream, couldn't I? Hello? What are you people doing? Can't you see I'm live? Apparently everyone who's watching at home, I have Fishy Biz, I have Monster Planted Aquariums, I have Crystal's Pets and stuff.
Alright, I'm here now. What's good? Hello?
Hi.
Yeah. Oh, what's up?
Joe Munoz.
Yeah, chilling. What's good? Is that Black?
Yeah. You guys should be in my live stream. The heck is that noise? You guys should be in my live stream, not doing Instagram chats with each other. What the hell? What the hell are you people up to? I'm live streaming and I'm on Instagram with Fishy Biz and Monster Planted Tanks.
Black, you're on live right now?
Yeah, man. Why aren't you here? I thought you had me, bro. I thought you had me.
I can't hear anything.
No, my microphone's dodgy.
I can't hear Black at all.
Oh, they can't hear me. Damn it. How do I leave this then? Can you hear me? No. Monster Planted Tanks, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's going on?
Get on my live stream, bro. Dr. Black 66.
Gotcha.
Sweet. See you there.
Alright, no worries.
Is it just me, or does it always sound funny when someone with an American accent says no worries? I always thought it was an Australian thing. So g'day, sorry about that. What did I miss? Did I miss another? I did. I missed another troll, didn't I? Tasfulia. Haven't seen you for a long time, bro. Where you been? Oh, Joe Munoz. Haven't seen you for a long time either. How you been going, mate? Hope you're doing well. Now, here's another interesting. It's good to see these multiracial people on the planet. Eaton Twats. His mum was an Irishman and his dad was an East German. I heard he's got an awesome art collection. No, hang on. Was that the East Germans or the West Germans? They were Germans back then when they collected art. He wants smacking. He's missing his hit. Valley Fish, how are you? I can get back to the hellos, I guess, since that little interesting little whatchamacallit, side bar conversation. So hopefully, there we go. Fishy Biz made it. He made it in. Hakuna Matata indeed. Yeah, sorry, Anna. What kind of host am I? Hardly professional at all. Treat 'em mean to keep 'em keen, or something like that. Righto. Well, what was I? I did start talking about fish, didn't I? Because GRB asked me something about a fish update. No updates on fish as such, except for my big rivulatus. Doesn't seem to be doing very well. He's getting outcompeted for food by the pardon me, 2 native catfish I've got in there with him, and he has been getting a little bit boisterous with them lately and attacking them and biting at them. And this morning I noticed a couple of wounds above his left eye that look remarkably like catfish spikes. So he might have taken a couple more hits from catfish spikes. Warrior planted tanks, you made it. That was quite random. Normally, I don't answer phone calls whilst I'm live streaming, the absolute seasoned professional that I am. But I saw some of the names involved in that call, and I thought, well, it was funny because it said Mad Fish Diva, but she wasn't there. Where'd she go? And why isn't she here? Sure. I'll be writing a very, very harshly worded letter to her mum or her significant other or someone who can point a gnarly finger at her and blah. So yes, I'm a little bit concerned about my big rivulatus. Damn it, that's right. I was going to go to the shop, wasn't I? And get some prawns or some fish to try and get some hardcore proteins into him. I forgot that though. I shall have to do that in the morning. Yeah, that's what happened to me, Fishy Biz. It said Mad Fish Diva was calling. I answer it. And I was looking at you fellas and Crystal's logo. Bipolar is in here as well. Good day, Bipolar. Hugh is absolutely dishing out the love for Pam. Potentially because he's got so much love to give because no one loved him as a child. He's filling that hole that exists in his life. I'm not even going to have a crack at his name because he gave me other material to work with. If I miss them, like, because I'm obviously I don't get everything on the screen, but you know, if they're too offensive. Hey, Mad Fish Diva, how are you, love? Good to see you here. Stress coat, GRB. What is this mystical potion you talk of? I run organic fish tanks, GRB, and I choose not to use chemicals. Well, you know, Epsom salts, I guess you could say, is a chemical. Salt, I guess, is a chemical. Or are they just elements? No, they've got chemical names. MgH2SO, no, whatever magnesium oxide is. Magnesium hydroxide, magnesium sulfate. One of the 7. NaCl, you know, I guess they're chemicals. Chris, multi-tank addiction, the man himself, has found his way in. Yeah, salt. I don't mind using a bit of salt. I like the old because I'm actually thinking that he's got some kind of gut problem as well. So what I tend to like to do is I blanch some peas, shell them, cut them into halves or break them into half, and then soak them in an Epsom salt solution to, gives their innards a bit of a flush out if they eat enough of them. Oh, I've missed people again. James Hukulak, how you going, brother? Cody, son, I got you before. I think I was already chastised for that. Jay's Better Room has made it. The Secret Garden. Fresh is best, Jay. So, now that we've got all the formalities out of the way, and we're only 21 minutes and 4 seconds in, roughly, approximate numbers only, what might I do? I've got nothing planned. I've got no physical guests, but let's see what happens if I do this. And maybe that. That may be a bit close. I might have to do that as well. Can't unmute your guest because they chose to mute themselves. Well, that went well, didn't it?
I did indeed.
Rob Bull, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, Rob Bull.
You could have given me a heads up, mate.
No, I don't do that. I was kind of alluding to it surreptitiously, but
Yeah, I'm not that quick, mate.
Nola Jane has made it in. Shelby Ray Lane has made it in. I'm sorry if I've missed anyone else.
Hi, Pammy. Hey, Bob.
You guys probably been here for
Candy.
ages or something. Also, I don't have headphones on. If I get an echo from Rob or anything, just let me know, people. Oh, I was going to bring up my second guest as well, but he disappeared from my studio.
No.
Oh, well. He did say he had a job to do, and it was a very important job. So.
Mr. Beers.
You could be Hugh. Send me an email.
Yeah, exactly.
Must include pictures. Oh, Anna. Sucks, doesn't it, when you're you're seeing your fishes aren't doing too well. You try, you do what you can, and sometimes they just don't make it. Zach Fisher, I'm very well, thank you.
Hey, Chewy.
Been
I'm good, mate.
Extraordinary. Crikey, might have to go and do that sometime. Yeah, well, that'd be interesting, wouldn't it? But I bet you $1.50 if we put Hugh, whatever his last name was again, if we put him on as a guest, I bet you $1.50 he wouldn't put his face up because he wouldn't want people finding out who he is, would he? No, he wouldn't. And there's the rabbit.
Ah, the rabbit.
How are you, Thirsty? Oh, Thirsty's got no audio.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. We can't hear you, mate.
He's not muted. Now he is. Wait, what? 1, 2. Test 1, 2. That's it. 2. You've been writing with a fountain pen, Thirsty. And this is the American Sign Language episode of Have a Beverage with Blacky. Thirsty will be our interpreter. Oh, no, shit, I've got to do the interpreting.
How good's your sign language, rabbit?
I think
not good.
You can still do the alphabet, but not so many words. Oh, hang on. What's this one means something, doesn't it? That one.
Yeah, mate, I'm suspecting my sign language is worse than rabbits.
That's like gang signs or something, Rabby. Anyway, it doesn't say you're muted at my end. How bizarre. How very bloody bizarre.
I had to leave and come back in before rabbit.
But he just did that. He left and came back in.
Mm.
Bob Kaler, Rob Bull's camera is up the fritz. I'm sure Hugh would know a thing or two about being up the fritz. But unlike Hugh, Rob's camera will be back to normal soon. It's probably no point talking to Hugh when Willie's in. I've got to give that kid credit for that name. That's pretty creative. Probably took him all of 34 hours to think of that, with the mentality of a YouTube troll. But again, showing the love for Pam. Oh, crikey. Oh, thank you. Is it Denny? That one that I did? Not that one, because that one means something that you should say to Willie or something, I think.
So how's the fest day, Blacky?
How's what?
The fest day.
Fest day is going superbly.
Nice.
So I'm still absolutely stunned because out of the 4 cichlids in that tank, the smallest one being a female rivulatus seems to be the one that's dominating the other fish, which, massive Oscar, big jag, big feste. They've all got at least 1.5 inches on the little rivulatus, and she's just tough as old boots. She is going nuts on them. But I'm thinking about pulling her and putting her with the big guy, but I'm also thinking that if she's being so brutally aggressive while he's in his weakened condition, the big Riv might succumb to her aggressive lovemaking or something.
Yeah, it's always a possibility.
But, it's got to be worth a try.
Yeah, why not?
Except potentially for the fact that this female rivulatus is actually the big guy's daughter. But, is incest such a bad thing in the fish world? Apparently not, if you talk to guppy breeders.
No, as long as the fish doesn't have any genetic defects.
That's right. Well, this one's a perfect little female riv.
Yeah, well, there you go.
So, it's sort of, it's sort of got a little bit of orangey tinge to the trim on it, but it's sort of halfway between the orange and the white that you get in your ribs.
The fact that I'll be moving soon to a house with a cement slab or foundation will be good.
That was some of the greatest news that I've heard in the last few weeks, because
I was pretty happy because I'm going to need a big tank for the green terrace that Thirsty's going to send me.
Yeah, they don't mind a bit of space.
And I'm thinking Feste as well. Yeah, it means bigger tanks, exactly. I'm thinking 8 foot at the moment. An 8 foot would look lovely, I think.
Yeah, well, concrete, so much better than timber to put big tanks on large volumes of water.
Well, the place I'm in now is 100 years old, so
Oh yeah, that's
and it's
the-
never been re-stumped. So
yeah, right. Definitely a risk factor for a ton of water.
yeah,
Zoom, zoom, zoom. Now I've become addicted to scrolling back up through the chat unless I've missed another fine euphemism of a troll name.
and as you
Yeah.
know, Rabbit's Green Terror is just amazing looking. The finish on that thing is great.
Absolutely spectacular. One of the best I've seen.
Yep, me
Far
too.
away. Oh, Big J. Missed you coming in, bro. Lucky I'm scrolling up looking for troll names. How are you, Big J? Welcome aboard. Thanks for stopping in. Eileen, you lick. Ah, he's got the kahunas to at least say that he's not making up his own names. He's stealing them. Should have tried to take credit, but then I suppose some Howard Stern listeners would call him out. Then he'd feel even smaller than he already does. But yeah, I get a strange feeling that it's probably, it's probably someone that someone already knows. But you never know. You never know who these trolls are. Oh, Fishy Biz is going. Righto. Sleep well, Fishy Biz. And
Sleep
wake
well,
up.
Biz.
This hot weather brings all the big bugs out. Was that me, Candy? Did I miss one? Jimbo. I should have. Indeed, I should have.
So, Blacky, do you have any idea whether the Feste is a male or a female?
I believe the one I have here is a male.
So you need to get your hands on a female.
My oldest son has a lovely looking female down in his big 6-foot tank.
Oh, nice.
So my plan potentially is to give him his Oscar back because the Oscar was pretty much a rescue from him because it was getting hammered in his big tank because there's a lot of cichlids in that tank and a real mix up and an interesting combination. I should do another video on that tank soon. This Oscar was absolutely getting nailed in that big tank and it was one of the weakest fish in the tank. And I brought it up here and brought it back to health. The same as the jag, actually. The jag came from my son, and it was also in a shocking state.
That's the thing with cichlids, though, isn't it? You've got to have somewhere else to put them if stuff doesn't go according to plan.
Exactly, yeah, because it can change overnight. The whole social dynamic of them can.
Yeah, and it does often.
Yeah. So yeah, the now that I have this Oscar has potentially grown an inch and is much healthier and more dominant, it can go back in the tank down there. And then I'd like to put the female Feste in here and see what happens. I mean, sure, there'll still be a jag and a gibby and a little riv in there, depending on if the riv goes around the corner with the big guy.
Kind of makes sense to do it both at the same time, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Pull the Oscar out, bring the female Feste in, chuck the little riv with the big guy, see what happens. But yeah, I think I've got to really I've got to sort the health of the big rivulatus out is my main goal over the next 2 to 3 days. Try and get some good protein into his guts. Potentially even if I might have to resort to something like holding the catfish away in a net while I make sure the rivulatus gets food. and then let the catfish clean up the leftovers. Yeah, potentially something like that, just to really make sure he gets some stuff into his guts. He ate some bloodworms this morning, but the catfish ate a few more than he did. And same, I did some earthworms out of my worm farm the other day. And sure, Rubulatus got one, but too slow compared to the catfish. Once there's a bit of food in there, the catfish just go nuts and hoover the ground and the surface in no time flat.
Yeah. I had those Tandanas catfish years ago, and they are very food aggressive.
Oh yeah, big time. And they don't stop either. I had a big one that was 14 or 15 inches long when I finally released it. Luckily, it's a native, so I was legally allowed to release it into a local creek.
Yeah, mine went into a dam.
They just they eat until their guts are big bloody balls. I suppose a lot of catfish do that. It's a bit wild. A few more people have wandered into the chat.
Hi, Langan.
Willie's come back in, and Caleb Aquatics, and Langan. How are you,
Caleb.
Langan and Caleb? Bob Steenfott. Who invited you in here? Crikey, I'm almost honoured to have such a big name in my joint. I know Pam's always been in here. So welcome, Bob.
G'day, Bob.
Thanks for stopping in, Bob. I'm a little humbled almost to have such a monster name in the YouTube community into one of my silly little streams. But good to meet you, Bob. If that's what you're here for, I assume, because most people just come here to meet me and say hi. Oh, I don't know about that, Langan. It's pretty warm and windy today and very dry.
That's not bad here, Blacky. 20 degrees. Right on.
Right. Yeah, I don't think I'll get any more of those days this year.
Yeah, it's going to get hot soon, though.
The only patches of green grass I've got around the yard is where I do my water changes. I put all my dirty water out, but by crikey, those patches are green. Melvin, how are you? New England Endler, how are you? Dun, dun, dun. Who else? Oh, Don G. How are you, Don?
Yeah, but I don't think you understand quite how hot it is, Langan. Like, we're talking real hot.
What are you saying? What were you referring to?
She's saying here that she is stuck with Trump. And I said, but it is very hot over here.
Yeah, what a trade-off.
Mm.
So was there actually an election yesterday, or is that next year? I'm a year early.
I've got no idea.
So I just had this thing popping up saying Election Day, USA on some thing. Might have just been on a calendar or something. But I think it was a year too early.
But yeah, if I'm going to get a massive tank, Blacky, you definitely need to breed those Festo. I'll help you get rid of the copious amounts of fry.
Well, it's certainly in my plans. Because when I first got that tank, it came with 26 Feste babies.
Oh, nice.
And the one that I've got is the lone survivor out of that of the 26, because I was keeping the babies in a small tank, and we all know what happens with tiny little tanks. The water's too hard to manage. Right. Thank you, Zen Ginger. Well, I hope whoever you voted for gets in, or whatever they have to do. Yeah. Which catfish warrior planted tanks? we talking about my native ones, is a Tandanus tandanus. Tandanus times 2. It's a Australian
Eel-tailed.
eel tail. Yeah, I suppose that would have been easier to say, wouldn't it?
Oh, well,
Very
probably
pretty.
about a dozen eel-tailed catfish around the world, I'd say.
True, yes. And many different varieties in colours and patterns on the Australian Tandanus tandanus. Up and
Yeah,
down.
GRB was saying he's got a black one.
Yeah. Those black ones are nice. And I believe they're from the southwest, aren't they, GRB? Something like that. Do you... Melinda's back to marry Melvin. How would you let the girl down, Melvin? How can you do it?
Oh, I just realised I've still got a little bit of vodka from last week's stream left over.
Oh my God. Isn't it a little bit too early in the day for drinking?
Nope. It's nearly 3 o'clock in the afternoon. What are you talking about?
Crikey, it is too. That's a time schedule thing's throwing me right out. I used to start my live streams at midday my time.
Oh, there you go. GRB answered you. Neosalurus ater from the north.
Right. I'm going to have to look that one up.
So it's not a Tandanus.
No. But obviously convergent evolution and all that stuff. It's developed the traits it needs.
Yeah, yeah. I rewatched that Jewel of the Rift the other day. God, that's a good film.
What
and
is
it's
it?
on YouTube, people. If you search for it, you can see the whole thing. It's a documentary narrated by James Earl Jones, I think, on Lake Tanganyika.
Oh, that's right. You were telling me about that.
As an ecosystem. Yeah, it's an amazing documentary too.
Warrior planted tanks. The jewfish. It's interesting because the eeltail catfish are called jewfish as well, but there's also another one called jewfish, which is more of a saltwater fish. Very good eating. And apparently the catfish are quite good eating too if you treat them right, prepare them right, etc. Damien Markham, how are you? It is tomorrow here. We are future sailors. Any Mighty Boosh fans out there? I might get copyright infringed for singing their songs so perfectly. Who else have I missed? I don't think I've missed anyone except for Damien was the last one I missed. No one else comes in after this hour, do they?
I reckon you've been pretty good, Blacky.
Like at nailing the people.
Yep. And whoever's catching the trolls is doing an awesome job.
Well, I must have been missing a few of them, the trolls and that, because I don't feel I had that much fun with the trolls, even though they were there to play with,
entertain you.
Yeah, but yeah, well, you did well on them. I think you gave me enough rope to fiddle with them, mods. I keep forgetting who's modded. Candy's probably... Yeah, that's right. Sorry, Candy. I forgot. I know I've added you as a mod, but you're not supposed to do mod work when you're here, Candy. But, you know, it's probably a really hard habit to break. Very, very difficult. Oh, Melvin, you might have to throw that dog a bone. He did. He said, okay. I hope you're happy, Melinda. You are now betrothed. And it all happened on my stream. He's probably answering another question, and I may be putting words in his mouth. But, you know, it's happened. Well, when I first started these streams, Zen Ginger, I was pardon me, I was quite familiar with Candy's work, modding all over the place, and I figured that it was a good thing for her just to be able to come into my joints and just chill out and just chat without doing all the other stuff. So that was the original deal. And then what was it? It was going back, I don't know how many episodes, half a dozen episodes or something, and I don't think there was any other mods on, and I needed some links posted. So I quickly added Candy as a mod so she could chuck up the links, and then I forgot to take her off as mod. So, you know, now I think it's just become automatic.
Open the floodgates, mate.
Potentially I did. Where are you at, Jeremy, that it's only 8 p.m? I thought it was like, oh, you must be West Coast then. Is that right? The planet spins that way? Or does it spin that way? Lost. I believe that Candy actually has one of those. She's a, what do you call it? A trial person for those Elon Musk chips in the head. So all of her Googling and links and stuff are just done by thoughts, synapses and stuff. Synapses? Yeah. Synapses, I think I said.
One of Elon Musk's Neuralinks or whatever they're called.
Neuralink, that's it. That's exactly the word I was thinking of. What are your tanks? Myself, in the tanks that I have here, the only natives I have at the moment are the catfish. Down in my sons live 7 or 8 houses down the street. He's got a few different types of perch. You see, that's it. He's got a jade perch and a spotted perch or spangled perch, same sort of thing. But yeah, I probably should do a video on this actually, because I've noticed our creek just down over Shonda is it's fairly low and dry at the moment, and in my walking up and down the driveway I've noticed lots of little rippling and stuff. And my mum actually said she saw a Nankeen night heron, which is a very funky looking bird. I'd like to get that on camera too. But I want to go and chuck my fish trap down in the water down there to see what life I've got living down in that creek, because it's a pretty manky little dried up creek. And potentially if I get some empire gudgeons or some spotted gudgeons or some Pacific blue eyes out of the creek, they'd go really nice in my bathtub or any of my other tanks. Monica Lynn, how are you? Chris is selling the, I don't know why I was going to start calendars with the letter P. The palenders, he's selling the palenders like wildfire. Anna, Sarah, just only this morning pulled down the art exhibition. It was her last day on Sunday, and the place is closed Monday, Tuesday, our time, of course. So she went down and pulled down this morning. So I haven't got final numbers on how much she did, but when I checked about a week ago. She'd sold a few pieces and it was pretty good news. Also, her, what do you call it, Redbubble store. If you're interested in checking that out, she's been putting some versions of her artwork up there. And Redbubble is super cool in that you can take one of the artworks and put it on numerous different products, from shirts and other forms of clothing to pillows to little acrylic blocks. It's quite an amazing site, actually. I think it leaves Teespring in the dust. You could check out my Teespring store as well, but I've seen Redbubble now. I might have to move everything to Redbubble because postage is cheaper to get stuff to Australia, and I think they're based in more places than just the US and the Europe. So yeah, by all means, check out Scunge Princess on Redbubble. Quite reasonably priced from what I've seen. And I've seen stuff in Australian dollars. So I would only imagine that, say a $33 shirt in Australian dollars might only cost $11 American. It might be a little bit too close to those Canadian people's Canada to US conversion rates. But, it's a similar thing. Our exchange rate's pretty crap.
I love Sarah's artwork. It is some very high quality stuff.
It is. And what she's been doing with the stuff on Redbubble is taking either scans or high quality photographs of the artwork and then doing a little bit of digital manipulation.
Ooh, nice.
So we've got, the potential for thousands of different versions of different things. Might have to look into that fish room fever, or actually, if you I'm not sure if the artist themselves specifies what items of clothing you can get them on. I know there's like leggings and stuff, and I mean, I'm only human. I would like to see you in a pair of yoga pants, that's for sure.
Yoga pants with your face on them.
Indeed, why not?
That'd be pretty good.
Strategically placed, located.
Yes. It would make good intro material, FRF.
That'd make the best intro material ever. I mean, we've seen some good intros, but whoa. Thanks for popping that up, Candy. Even after I just went through that whole don't do any moderating work, Candy, but there she is. Moderator extraordinaire.
Oh, Bob, I'd pay to see that. I'd definitely pay to see that.
I loves me some yoga pants. As long as, like, put a little pair of Daisy Dukes or something over top of them, I think I look great like that. But, sometimes they're very utile in the winter months to have a snug-fitting trouser downstairs.
G'day, you mob, it should say, James. Across the bum.
Good idea. With mob strategically placed, perhaps. O in the middle. Jez how are you, Jez? Long time no see, I think. So I heard a rumour that Bob Steenfort was planning on coming to Australia. Is there any truth to this rumour, Bob?
I don't know if I've heard that rumour, but I will help you perpetuate it.
Well, if, like the old saying, if there is not a good enough rumour getting around. Start one yourself. Not saying that's what I did. Not saying that's what I did. But it'd be
Cool.
interesting to see Bob's take on it.
Cook Islands is close, Bob. Not much for a plane ride from there to Australia.
$1.50 or so, probably even return.
$3.50.
Get your appropriate travel agent to add it on to the ITIN.
Rabbit's got to go. See you, Rabbit.
No worries, Thirsty. Train well. Get those kids slogging.
Train hard, mate.
First, he's off to train his junior cricket side. He's the coach extraordinaire. He's almost as good at coaching as Candy is at modding. I nearly said as good, but I don't want to undersell Candy's modding abilities at all, because we all know that she's awesome at that. Drama D. I was going to say, I'm sure I saw a new name sneak in. How are you, Drama D? Or Drude for short. Three o'clock already. That means I've only been going for... Oh, no, that's right. I was late, wasn't I? So it's not even an hour yet. We could
Where's Old Zealand?
Old
That's a
Zealand.
very good question. I think it's in Africa.
Yeah, I believe you are right. Doesn't it come from Swaziland or something like that?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Swaziland in Afrikaans means something Zealand, and then obviously Whitey came along and bastardized it with some English speak.
Yeah.
I believe that's the case.
Whitey's pretty good at that.
Yeah. Whitey does what Whitey wants. Yeah, it sank, says Jester. It sank, so they rebuilt it.
Aha, a convert, Monica. Cichlids are awesome. They get such a bad rep. It really is a bad rep. They just chase each other around, really. Unless they're equally matched, and then they fight. And then they damage each other.
But that's where good fish keeping comes into it. And the good fish keeper has that spare tank ready to go. Like we were saying earlier, is prepared for when the violence outbreaks. For the outbreaks of violence, I think is what I'm trying to say. And you're ready to go. You're ready to go with that new tank, if needed. But generally, it's worth fiddling around with what you've got in a cichlid tank beforehand, decor and whatnot, to diffuse that aggression. Add someone else in that might get picked on more, or vice versa, might pick on them more.
Move stuff around, confuse them.
Yeah, make them start again.
Yeah,
even if you've got to do it once every couple of weeks. But yeah, just don't get attached to your your stocking of a tank, because that hierarchy can change in the blink of an eye, and you might find yourself needing to change stuff. But the return, what you get out of big or any cichlids really, with more personality and stuff, it's worth the legwork that you put in.
Couldn't agree more, mate.
Yeah. And they're such personable, awesome fish to have.
Don't get attached to your aquascape either, because if they don't like it, it's not going to stay that way.
Yeah, they like to modify things. They like to make it how they want it. Or it's not really how they want it, is it? It's just they don't like it how they don't want it.
Yeah, exactly.
Push that over it. Don't like the way it's looking at me. Back in a sec. Talk amongst your rocks.
My big male bristlenose just came out. I've very, very rarely seen him. Jeez, he's big. He'd be as big as they get, I reckon. Getting close on 12 centimeters. Hi, Melvin. So, what's everyone been up to? Seeing as Blacky's left me here while he wrestles a crocodile. Yeah, Stephanie, that's definitely the best thing about cichlids. How personable they are. How much they enjoy interacting with you. Pistos, James. They're actually surprisingly personable too, if you spend some time getting them that way. Yeah, I like your geos. They're very nice, Jess. Here we go, he's back.
What did I miss?
Just cichlid talk.
All right. Am I going to have to, or can someone just tell me what Stephanie Berry's fish is? Maybe you, Stephanie Berry. What is a Laita cara curviceps? Curvichips? Cervichips? Cervicips?
Curviceps? I'd go with curviceps. Laeticara?
Why would you pronounce your two C's differently? They're both followed by vowels.
Curviceps then? I don't know.
Who knows? There's so much conjecture about Latin speak nowadays. Potentially they should teach it in schools again.
Potentially.
But yeah, I'd like to know what that is. If they're sweet little guys and curious, they're making me curious. Oh, is that what they are, GRB? Oh, flag cichlids. Right, yeah. I've seen them. I'm quite familiar with most of the acaras and the andino acaras, or equidens as they used to be called once upon a time, until they decided to separate the acaras from the andino acaras sometime in the 80s or 90s, I think.
It's ironic that a lot of the time the scientific classification is more murky than the common names that people give them.
Yeah, true that.
I can think of a few African cichlids that are like that. That one that I showed you, the Greciaceae, that's got 3 genuses that people refer to it in.
Yeah,
like
right.
3 separate ones. But it's just called the Williams cichlid or Williams mbuna as a common name.
Well, I like referring to the I don't know if anyone's familiar with the bench. The bench, oh, hang on, over there. Aquarium Atlas.
Yep.
Beautiful book. This is the edition from the early 1980s, and apparently nowadays it's like 5 volumes of the same size. Is that book nowadays? And quite expensive if you want to get the whole thing, but there's a lot of fish in there that have been reclassified, renamed, all sitting in different genera, species and all that kind of stuff.
I would imagine, and just found since the 1980s, there would be, a few volumes worth just there.
Yeah, well,
let alone reclassified.
Not only that as well, but fish that weren't maybe necessarily considered aquarium worthy, that now, a lot of people want to keep just for their novelty value, not only just because they're pretty and stuff. But yeah, if you can get your hands on a bench, classic books, and there's been many editions since it was first printed, and lots of really useful information in there as well.
One of the many old books that I originally learnt the hobby out of back pre-internet days. Back in the old days.
Yeah, it's all we had, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. That, and I think it was called the Encyclopedia of Tropical Fishes.
Oh, I've actually got that somewhere
Was
too.
like an illustrated one.
Yeah.
I may or may not have borrowed it from the library for about 10 years. I did return it in the end, but I may have had it for 10 years.
I hope they didn't continually accrue late fees.
I'm sure it did, but I just dumped it in the late return box and have never gone back, to be quite honest.
The library again. Yeah. Why would
I had the internet by that stage.
Yeah. Well, hi there. Fancy seeing you here. How's it going?
Is that who I think it is?
Maybe. Bob already says hi, Sarah.
So does Candy.
And Candy. My mouse is hovering over hers at the moment.
Everyone's onto you.
Denny says hi. Jez says hi.
Hi, Sarah.
Rob says hi.
Hi.
Jess Shrimp Granny says hello. She did say for me to say hello to you, but you can probably read now.
I can't see the screen. It's
Oh,
all
yeah,
white.
it's a terrible screen. Oh, and even I am now too. That's gone weird.
The whole thing is from up here.
Shelby Ray says hi. Monica says hi, Dara. I'm sure that's just a typo though, because I'm pretty sure she knows you quite well by now. Chris from Multi-Tank Addiction says hi. Anna says hi. GRB says hi. New England Endless says hi. Melvin says hi. He spelt it wrong too, but we won't beat up on him too hard about that. He's taken too much crap today already. GRB's gone back to Whitey for some reason. I've gone back to the Fat Pixie Hard Ginger
Fat
Beer.
Pixie.
Isn't that nice?
It's quite good.
I have literally never seen that before.
Hello.
Mum says hi to Sarah too. Bob says nice pendant, Sarah.
Oh, thanks. You like it?
She built that one to sell, Bob, but it's been around her neck for about 2.5 months now. Can't let go of it now. Would you like one?
I shouldn't because I've got to drive home. Wouldn't want to endanger your life, sweetheart.
Crikey. Derek says hi. I think Big J's got waving things up. He might be saying hi too. Lots of people saying hi. That was a long phone call, Derek. I think it was like quite a while ago you left on that phone call. My internet won't go that far, Monica. Whoops.
Just get a really long cord, mate.
Yeah, it would have to be quite a long one. You can see bits of it on when Aquamate did his finale episode of the Fish Tubers Down Under, and he did questions from myself and Jace from Perth Cichlids. The questions that I asked him, I was filming down on the... Well, Sarah was filming me. I was asking the questions. Don Gallagher says, hi, Sarah. That was filmed down on the creek. And actually, when we filmed that, it had considerably more water in it too. But I do plan to duck down to that creek in the next week or so and see what I can catch out of it before the Nankeen night heron catches all the fish, just to see just to see what's living in there primarily. Not necessarily to pull them up and keep in a tank, but just to see what life I've got going on down there, because there used to be quite the variety of fish down there, but with the drought that we've sort of been suffering over the last few years, there's very rarely much water in that creek at all. So that does, that does hinder the life of the life in general, the bio in that creek.
Yeah, my brother and I are taking my 2 nephews out to the river this weekend. Doing pretty much the same thing. I'm just going to put a fish trap in, or probably a few, along the river and see what goes in there. I'm quite suspicious that there'll be nothing native in it.
Yeah, right. But, worth doing. Definitely worth doing just for your...
we'll go fishing at the same time. Catch some redfin, maybe. Probably a lot of carp.
Probably. Tasty indeed. But just good to know what's going on in the waters.
Yeah.
It's all well and good to sit back and just think, my waters are awesome, they're nice and safe and full of native fish, but then you get down in there and see that not everything's as you thought. It's just good knowledge to know.
Yeah, it doesn't take much to work out that that's not the case, though. You can see the carp everywhere on the banks, feeding at the surface in the mornings. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I potentially don't. I know they're sort of in our rivers up here, but we don't see them anywhere near in the numbers that you see down the southern half of the country.
It's probably a little bit too warm.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Biggies! How are you, Mark? Welcome aboard. Good to see you, mate. Better late than never.
Yeah.
Some art before, but we're fresh out of art. I'm assuming you've taken all of your art home. It's still in the car, isn't it?
It is still in the car. That's why I borrowed my mother's car.
Right. Wrong car then. Sorry, Bob. The only things I could show you are things you've already seen.
Yeah, I've got like a big butterfly net thing. I don't know where I got it from. But yeah, I'll be sweeping through the weeds and probably taking some weeds too.
Not a bad idea. You probably borrowed the net from the library.
Yeah, I'm not sure they were lending nets.
Well, they branched out nowadays. They've got to get with the times, isn't it?
I'm pretty sure I just found it in the yard of a house that I moved into.
Right.
Actually, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what happened.
Got a few people asking, how did your art exhibition go?
That was pretty good.
It's pretty good, she says. I'm assuming you can hear her because we've got quite the good microphone.
It was a frightening experience, but it was. I think it was worth it in the end.
I assume that's GRB saying that he's expecting you to film all of your catchings and findings.
He would be expecting correctly. I will definitely be taking quite a lot of video while I'm out there. And hopefully taking some fish too.
Why not?
Which is not illegal here, by the way. Just
No.
to be 100% clear.
Yes, we get away with taking quite a few natives. Apparently, though, once they're on the critically endangered list, then you have to think twice.
Yeah, or silver perch now, apparently.
Oh, yeah,
in
that's
Victoria,
right.
at least.
Yeah.
For their carp
very
egg
simple.
eating abilities. Apparently, they're good at it.
Well, so they should be encouraging a lot more of them to go back into the water and potentially breeding. What?
But are you flicking on my leg?
I'm not flicking it. The wind is flicking it.
That was your finger.
Can
Ooh.
anyone tell me what that is?
It's a snake skin, mate.
It's been blowing around my feet for a couple of hours now.
By the look of it, a carpet python.
Absolutely correct. Morelia spilota McDowley.
Ah, McDowell's carpet python. Nice.
Coastal carpet python.
Yeah, I had a 12-foot one, mate. God, she was big. I overfed her for years because I didn't quite understand snakes as well as I probably should for the first couple of years. So she got fed every week, and she just got giant in the body, and her head looked way too small for her body.
Yeah, right.
Like, it was a big head, but yeah, body-wise, she was huge.
Got the bad one, didn't you?
Yeah. I haven't tried to check it first.
Yes, well, they do say that snakes never stop growing. They grow the entirety of their life, as do quite a few different types of larger reptiles.
It kind of feels a bit cruel feeding an animal once a month, but it's perfectly adequate for them.
Yeah, definitely. Especially if they're confined to an enclosure or something. They're not actually wandering around their 5-kilometre territory looking for food. C23.
Hey, C23.
How are you, mate? Good to see ya. And yeah, interesting observation. Who was it that made the observation before? Probably Bob Kaler. Yes, it was. Asking if anyone noticed if Pam and Hugh became scarce.
So you're saying that Pam was trolling herself, Bob?
No, I think he's suggesting that Pam potentially succumbed to the love, the doting of the love from Hugh towards Pam.
Gotcha.
Lapped it up, so to speak.
I did mention earlier that I'm a bit slow.
Duly noted, sir. But I don't necessarily think anyone noticed it until you mentioned it, Bob. But now that you've noticed it, I'm sure everyone's thinking what you're thinking.
Well, everyone's definitely aware now.
And Pam, of course, offering the good old standard rebuttal of either lurking or eating dinner. You do you, Pam. You do you. The only time I've looked at Instagram in the last couple of days, Monica, was early in this stream when I received an Instagram phone call. Did you potentially message me in the last few hours? Let's look.
I think she might be talking about a previous comment in the stream, maybe.
Ah, right. No, I missed them. I may have missed them due to.
They do go past pretty quick.
No, yeah, they do. Sometimes, pardon me, sometimes they fly through. Instead of me scrolling, Monica, chuck them in again. Let's have a look. Tea and biscuits, Derek. Classic. You're talking about offering them up to the Czechoslovakians for their traditional Christmas dinners, Monica. I think, was that you talking about then? Yeah, right. Well, there's plenty of Czechoslovakians live down here in Australia. So potentially what we've got to do is get the word out amongst the Czech community to get out and fish for the carp.
Trust me, mate, you don't need to get the word out. all those. They're big business in Europe. Like they really are. And I had no idea that you could even eat them before I went to one of my Italian friends from school's house. And they'd been flushing this carp for 3 days, I think, to get the mud out of it.
Yeah.
Like emptying the bath out and filling it back up with fresh water and then emptying it back out. And then they smoked it. And after they'd smoked the meat, it was absolutely delicious. Like one of the best fish I've ever tasted. Way too much effort, but
Yeah, well, they say that you've got to do that with the Tandanis catfish as well. That you've got to put them in clean water in like a bathtub or a big drum or something, and same thing, clean water every day. Flush them for 3 or 4 days before you cook them, and you get really nice meat out of them.
way too much effort, isn't it? Just get something like a redfin that you can eat straight away,
Break it up, yeah. But you know, I guess
or a
those,
trout.
that kind of stuff probably just came from necessity. You know, Depression era and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Whatever you could get your hands on. Oh, that didn't taste so good. Let's try something different.
But
Next
apparently it's a $6 billion a year industry,
Wow.
carp farming for food. I don't get it. Yet we can't get rid of ours.
Yeah. They should turn that money around and invest it in harvesting the wild ones. Now, it's good. Thank you, Caleb, and thank you for your concern. But when this pirate boy's got to do certain things that tie in with the time frame when I'm usually on the interwebs, I need to employ a fake pirate boy to take over my time slot. And you know, I'm thanking fake pirate boy for his efforts last week by having him up again, and we can share the time slot as we're doing now. So yeah, Caleb is lucky because he's got pirate boy and fake pirate boy on the screen at the same time. Well,
Fake pirate boy.
Wasn't he calling you fake pirate boy last week when you filled in my slot?
Oh,
That sounded wrong.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just leave that one there.
I think Candy made reference to it at some stage when I was on there. Yeah, that he called you fake pirate boy.
Arr.
Oh, yeah, I think you have to.
I'm a real boy. Yeah, exactly. I'm a real boy, Geppetto.
I'm a real boy. As his nose grows. Anyway, we might wrap it up there. It's getting late over there, and I'm gonna have to leave this house very soon. So I've got a bit of packing up and crap to do before we depart. Anything else we need to cover, people? Monica, just going back to your carp thing as well. If you want to check out a map of Australia and check out the Murray-Darling River system, and just imagine the immense task that it is to scale that river system for taking fish out of and stuff like that.
I was thinking the exact same thing, Bob. Thinking the same thing. No music.
Well, to be honest, I didn't actually expect Sarah to show up this early, and now that we've left it till 3:30 and we've got to be gone in like 10 minutes, we don't really have time to do anything with that.
Yep, makes sense.
Can we tentatively, if I look this way and say, potentially we may do some next week?
Maybe.
All right. So I got a tentative maybe from Sarah, and I think we've both been mentioning lately that we even in our spare time, we haven't been doing enough music amongst ourselves. So it is probably be really good for us to jump back on and play some tunes for you people. This time thing is going to screw me though. Starting at 2:00 in the afternoon instead of 1, instead of 12. God, can't we just all move to a universal time clock? Goodness me, bloody daylight saving. All right. So yes, we shall tentatively promise. Oh, that's me trying to cross my fingers, crikey. That don't cross so well apparently. Too many years of guitars. But yes, Bob, thank you for inquiring about that. Warrior, I've got plenty of space. You got a long way to travel to get here first, though. Email me, let me know what you're doing. If you're down in this side of the planet, by all means, let me know. Hit me up. We'll get something sorted. Why isn't it scrolling now? Oh, there we go again. It's been doing it all day long. Right. Tentatively booked. GRB, good. Yeah, thank you, Candy. Don't forget to hit Pam's GoFundMe. Spare a few bucks. She's doing some good work. Don't forget also Chris's calendars. I think he said, is he doing half of the funds raised to something else? And thank you, Pam, also for posting that one. You guys are patting each other on the back nicely. What a team. If you can spare a few bucks for Candy and Stacy and Young Pirate Fan, hit him up with a few bob. And thank you all for hanging out. Oh yeah, thanks, Candy, hitting that MTA link for his calendars. And like Derek says, don't forget Pam's calendars as well. They look awesome, Pam. Actually, I think I forgot to leave a comment on your video, but I'm fairly certain that I watched it almost all the way through. Take it easy, everyone. Thanks heaps for stopping in. Thanks heaps, Rob, for hanging out as well.
No worries at all, mate. Anytime.
And if you haven't checked out Rob Bull's channel, I'm pretty sure everyone I've seen in here is on Rob Bull. Potentially a couple of the new kids. Look up The Life Aquatic with Rob Bull on YouTube. Get away, fly. YouTube videos to go to sleep to, because as you can probably tell, Rob the Bull has the dulcet tones.
The what?
The dulcet tones.
The dulcet tones, you reckon?
To put a psychopath to sleep. Easy. So you guys are all covered for sleep. All right. So thanks again, everyone. It's good to see everyone again. Thanks for checking out Rob last week as well when I was out and about. It was great to still pop in and see that everyone was hanging out with Rob as well. Reels Tanks, I didn't even see you pop in and you're saying bye.
Yeah.
Sorry for coming in. If you probably just came in, I'm guessing. And Tasfolia Pranks pops in with the Deftones comment right at the end. Wouldn't mind trying some Deftones songs, actually. We could probably pull that off one day.
Thanks, Jess.
He did, Jess. He's my GTG, my go-to guy. Well, he was available. Cheers, everyone. Take it easy. See you all next time.
See you guys.
Yourselves and feed your fish.